Shalom! I hope you guys don't mind, but I'll have to do the rest of this in English. I'm going to share something with you that will probably surprise you. There are 1.1 million firefighters in the United States, and 70% of them are volunteers. And in the state of Israel, there are only 2,000 firefighters. So to put that into some perspective, in America, there are about 3 firefighters for every 1,000 people. And in Israel, there are less than 3 firefighters for every 10,000 people. So when there are major incidents or wars or catastrophic emergencies in Israel, their manpower and resources are used up very, very quickly. Last summer, between May and August of 2018, now get ready for this, there were over 1,000 fires started in southern Israel by terrorists sending kites and balloons over the border out of Gaza. It was absolutely devastating, and they were trying to burn Israel to the ground, and Israel needed our help. So I was on my couch, and it was a beautiful Wednesday evening, and I was doing what most people do when they have some free time. I was watching Netflix. And that's when I got the call from Jerusalem. The voice on the line said, "We need help, these fires are really overwhelming us, so there's going to be a deployment." That was on Wednesday. So by that Sunday, which was only 4 days later, I was standing at the end of a hose line in Israel in a field that was on fire, about 1.5 miles away from Gaza, fighting to stop an arson fire started by Hamas. It all happened that quickly. I was there for 14 days with 9 other American firefighters, and unfortunately, we were kept very, very, very busy. So let me give you some perspective. So I'm a volunteer firefighter with the city of Plantation. Plantation is just west of Fort Lauderdale. And in 2018, we ran 12,000 medical calls and 8,000 fire calls. We have about 95,000 people in Plantation. But we only had 32 fires. So for the entire year for our city, we had 32 fires for the entire year. On my last day in Israel last summer, there were 26 fires alone on the last day. We were completely embedded with the Israelis. We were shoulder to shoulder on the front lines. There was 0 degrees of separation between us. We lived with them in the fire stations, and we rode with them on the fire engines, responding to calls. There were many similarities between Israel and America, but there were also some striking differences, tactics and equipment that Americans, we would never need. For example, the main fire engine that we used was an armor-plated, bulletproof fire engine. Imagine that. It was also equipped with ballistic helmets and Kevlar vests. Not the kind of thing you would think a firefighter would need. I didn't even know anything like this existed because we don't have to fight fires while under fire from terrorists on our borders here in the United States. This was very shocking. Working with my Israeli brothers and sisters was a lifetime experience. I put my life in their hands, and they put their lives in mine. We didn't always speak the same language. Thank you, Google Translate. But there was an unspoken connection, and it was a connection that can never, ever be broken. I've always thought of Israel as our best friend and ally in the Middle East. I think a lot of us like to say that. But as I stand before you here today, I realize that we are so much more than that, because Israel is our family. Best friends come and go, but family never changes, and family is something that is forever. So we never turn our back on family, no matter what. I think you all would agree with me on that. So while I was there in Israel last summer, the Israeli media had picked up on American firefighters volunteering in Israel. And I was bombarded with questions. They were asking, "Why did you come to Israel? What are you doing here? You're not Jewish," even though I know I look Jewish. "Why did you leave your home, your friends, your family, your job, and risk your life to come to Israel and help?" The answer to that question involves the influence of a very important person in my life, Michael Yavner. We met while attending high school in Davie, Florida, and our friendship bloomed at the University of Florida. And over the years, Michael didn't just become my friend, he became a mishpucha. Okay, you know what? I lied. I said the rest would be in English. Sorry. That's all we want. That's it. There's no more. And a lot of what I know about Israel, the Jewish people, and their history comes from Michael. So of course it was Michael who first introduced me to the Emergency Volunteers Project. And there was another reason. 80 years ago, when the Jewish people needed help, who was it that answered the call? Who was it that volunteered to save their lives 80 years ago? No one, exactly. No one came to help until it was too late. So when the call came, I felt a moral duty to step up and answer the call and help, because we can never again allow that cry for help to go unanswered. I say this to you not as a friend, but as family. And Israel's not just my family, it's our family. And the fact is that Israel still needs help, whether it's fighting fires in Hamas in the south, fighting Hezbollah in the north, or fighting BDS around the world. Israel still needs our help. And we won't ever leave Israel to fight her battles alone. But I have to tell you something. Israel has a secret weapon. It is the most advanced weapon system ever created. It's a system developed in America and designed to protect Israel from those who wish to do her harm. You may think that I'm talking about a high-tech military weapon system, but I'm not. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about all of you. You are the leaders of the movement to protect Israel. So when people talk about all the military aid Israel receives from the United States, when they talk about the diplomatic and political support, about the joint partnerships and projects between Israel and the United States, just remember that you are the ones that make that happen. None of that happens without you. And you are the heroes and leaders that keeps Israel safe and secure. And you are Israel's secret weapon. I want to thank AIPAC for having me here tonight. And I want to thank all of you. There's a lot of places you could be right now. You guys are here. It tells me everything I need to know about you. And I want to thank you all for allowing me to share my story with you. And thank you for everything that you do in order to protect our family in Israel. Thank you.